Hey everyone, me Kevin here. Welcome back. Let's talk about Dogecoin and the absolutely incredible Elon Musk SNL rally that we are seeing. First, I want to go back a little bit into history here with Doge. Obviously, back in April, which is weird to say that's history, but anyway, in April, we were talking a lot about how Dogecoin, for it to really break out, we need to break above 40 cents. This is a line that we talked about a lot back in April, how we need to stay above 40. And we frequently hit 30, but for very brief periods of time. I'm sorry, 40. For brief periods of time, and we've kind of seen Doge kind of start deflating when news started fading away, unfortunately. Well, then we got some pretty incredible and powerful ideas that Elon Musk is going to be on SNL, and maybe that would be an opportunity for Dogecoin to be mentioned. In fact, just to show you the relation to Elon Musk and Dogecoin. Take a look at this. When you just search Dogecoin under Google News, you get right here, Dogecoin is surging again because Elon Musk is going on SNL. Could Elon Musk's SNL hosting tank Dogecoin? Elon Musk's upcoming SNL appearance is fueling Dogecoin's rise. And literally, all of these articles about Dogecoin have to do with this SNL appearance. Now, we already know this. If you follow this channel or you're in those amazing programs linked down below with that coupon code expiring today, to the moon's the coupon code. But anyway, you already know, even if you just follow the channel publicly, you already know that things go in cycles, especially momentum-driven stocks or securities. We know that Robinhood has been having outages because so many people are trying to buy Dogecoin. This is a sign of not institutional money flowing into Doge. It's a sign of, oh snap, we got a big rally here. Let's plow in. It's a classic and normal start to a big momentum upswing, which is wonderful because you could stand to make some nice tendies. Now we'll talk about Doge, a dollar, and you know some psychological limits for Doge, which become very important with a retail investor base. So I'm going to explain that in just a moment, but I really want to drive home this talk about Doge with Elon Musk and show you this. Take a look at this. So this is Elon Musk talks about SNL hosting, and he doesn't really talk. He's just asked for autographs here out in New York. And take a look at the questions that he gets. It's really entertaining to watch. Take a listen.
There's only half of us. Please stay in a line, if you don't mind, sir.
His wife after like 5 minutes.
Sounds good. No problem.
He just came out of here and he's like, all right, I got like 5 minutes. And he's got his sort of security with him right here. He was actually walking the other way, comes over to give autographs and take a look. Just listen to some of the things that he gets asked.
Here you go,
Mr. Musk, I'm so excited for your SNL appearance. How do you feel about it?
Good. What do you guys think I should do?
What are your thoughts?
Is Doge?
It's literally the first question is, oh, excited. Are you excited for SNL? And then, oh yeah, what do you guys think I should talk about? And then everyone, Doge. And he's smiling about it, right? Like everybody right now cares about Doge, SNL, and Elon. Like this is the perfect setup for a euphoric rise. And that's what we have been seeing.
Elon, guys, hold on. So Elon, you're gonna be doing a lot of Doge jokes or what?
And we'll see.
Elon, do you have your own ideas and stuff for this?
Elon, can I get the time photo?
Elon, do you have any
time photo?
Elon,
on my mask, please.
Oh man,
Elon,
guys,
can you any impersonations?
I'm trying not to be too late for this thing.
Are you nervous at all?
Elon, cyber shot, please. Your single shot, please.
Elon, are you nervous for the SNL appearance?
Sorry. Elon, your single shot, please.
Elon, are you for the fact?
So you kind of get the idea here. He's getting bombarded with questions. He's not really answering a lot of the questions. You can watch the full video, which is right here. Adam's Apple posted this. Elon Musk talking about hosting SNL, Dogecoin. We'll watch a little bit more, but what I want to talk about is remember momentum cycles, okay? Momentum cycles and euphoria in retail investing can follow clear triggers of pricing, and it's very interesting. The first threshold when we broke 40-cent Doge was, I can't wait for $half Doge. What was the next threshold? Ask yourself, what was the next level? And it's between 50 cents and $1. You should all know this. If you are investing in Doge, you know a month ago What was the number people were talking about of, oh, we got to get to Doge? What? It's 69 cents, folks. 69 cents. And I want to show you something because it's so important when it comes to these psychological numbers. Watch this, okay? So we get a bump. We touch 40 cents, consolidate back down. We're looking for an extended break above 40. We get a break above 40, consolidation above, we're not above 40 yet here. That's actually, there it is. It's right here. So we get this sort of slow moving up. This is kind of in the 30s, right? We're kind of being range bound here. These are lines, by the way, we drew last month, right? We bounce off 33 cents. We bounce off 40 cents. This is normal. We expect to bounce off 40. What we were really waiting for was this push through 40 cents, which we saw right here on May 3rd. So we saw not only a push through 40 cents, but a consolidation above 40 cents. And that set off Doge. A consolidation above 40 cents immediately set the signal of, oh, wait a minute, next psychological threshold, 50 cents, right? And we blew virtually through it. We hit resistance here, right here around 49 cents, close to 50, plow through it. Where's the next stop? 69 cents. And folks, that's literally where the Doge rally stopped. You can feel it hitting those psychological thresholds, and it regularly does that. In fact, it bounced off 69 a few, in a multiple 30-minute periods here. So it's very, very common when you have big retail movement to see Doge consistently bounce around these numbers, whether it was 25 cents or for a long period of time it rubber banded around 30 cents, or once it broke through 40 cents, it's like, okay, next threshold's 50. Briefly got hit resistance there, smashed through that. Okay, what's the next threshold? Boom, 69. That's kind of where we've been bouncing around now. And we bounced off 69 a couple times. The next psychological threshold after 69, at least one that's talked about in social media, which is very important when I feel like most investors in Doge are retail or at least following social media. Next threshold is $1. It's Doge $1. And so there are a few scenarios here in terms of what could happen. Doge could sit here and stabilize through SNL. I don't know about that though, because there's so much excitement and euphoria around SNL. It would not shock me, and this is just a scenario, it would not shock me to see Doge run to $1. Now, if Doge runs to $1 though, seeing how Doge tends to bounce off those resistance levels, it wouldn't shock me to see Doge bounce off $1 or bounce under $1. If that happens on Saturday, and this is sort of me going out on a limb, but kind of my thinking, let's say we hit Doge $1 a few hours before the SNL skip. It's possible we could have a temporary breakthrough on $1, but I think a lot of people are going to start thinking about, we hit a Doge $1, time to take profits, time to pull money and take profits. No guarantees. Remember the three types of people who invest in momentum. You have hodlers, you have traders, and you have people who go, oh my God, I just changed my life with a bunch of money, right? Change your life with a bunch of money, start realizing at least some of your gains is usually a recommendation, right? You're a hodler, you don't even have to think about selling. Who cares? This is all just enjoyment. If you're trading, think about that next threshold. Where do we go from 69? If we continue to solidify around 69, even though we did have this temporary pullback, next logical threshold is $1. But there's a really big danger when it comes to momentum plays. And one of the ones that I'm going to look at here recently is Microvision. So look at Microvision on a day here. Microvision gets uplisted, which basically means nothing happens to the fundamentals of the stock. Literally nothing happens at the fundamentals of the stock. Nothing. And instead, what happens is we get an announcement that Mind Medicine is getting uplisted from an OTC to the NASDAQ, which all that means is people on like Robinhood and Webull have an easier time investing in the stock. So we get this euphoria about the uplisting. Uplisting occurs, euphoria slows down, and we immediately get that downtrend. And we've been on this downtrend for a while. Hey, we had some good news today. It turned green for a little bit. It's red again. Very, very, very common with momentum plays. What's another recent example of this? Literally within the last 2 weeks. Microvision, same thing. Microvision has a history of doing this. You get the euphoric rise. Oh my gosh, look how much money it's making. Oh my gosh, it's making so much money. Oh my gosh, you can't lose. Oh my gosh, this is so great. Oh crap, it goes right back down. It's so normal. And so if you're in these as hodlers, by now you're used to it. But if you're a trader, you got to know on the momentums, when they go red, they oftentimes fall back to previous support levels. So that makes us wonder, what's the potential for Doge? Well, look, if we break through $1, that's the big test, right? That's the big test for Doge. First of all, Once we get over like 74 cents, we're going to be a top 3 cryptocurrency. And that's really going to have the potential of opening up staying power for Doge, which is big, because if you get to and we talked about this in April too. I'm not changing my opinion or anything. We talked about this clearly in April because it was number 5. And we're like, if Doge can get to 3, that's where the power is. Right now, you've got an $80 billion market cap on Doge. If we can get to $100 billion on Doge and keep it there, that will create the staying power. The danger is, what happens if you've got Doge in a consolidation phase, the big pump, the Elon pump or potential pump on Saturday occurs, and what if Doge isn't mentioned a single time because SNL, which is it has tons of attorneys, tons of legal liability, tons of exposure. SNL is like, you know what, Elon, Doge jokes would be funny, but we're not going to do any Doge jokes because we don't want to get sued by the SEC for securities manipulation. I don't know. I'm just speculating, okay? But it's entirely possible the lawyers over at SNL are like, if we just mention anything about Doge and then Doge crashes and people lose lots of money, SNL is going to get sued, which is a huge brand. Huge opportunity for lawsuits. They might go for it anyway because, you know, they do some crazy things, which I love about them. But there's a real legal and litigious risk for them even mentioning Doge on this show. It's one thing when Elon takes flack on Twitter for doing it. It's another thing to go on mainstream television and SNL and have a scripted skit around Doge. It could happen. It wouldn't surprise me to see some Doge in there because it's so, like, everybody wants to see Doge right now, right? And so who knows? I mean, like, maybe Elon even drops a bomb. It's like, hey, well, I want to go on the show and say that we're officially accepting Doge as a form of payment. Well, in that case, if Elon pulls that off for Teslas, we're accepting Doge as a payment for Teslas. If Elon does that and he has a legitimate cause for talking about Doge, in my opinion, Doge to the moon at that point, right? Now we solidify as a number 3 currency, a cryptocurrency. We solidify as potentially an institutional option. What if Elon reveals he has personal investments? But unless Elon is actually expecting to make an announcement, which honestly, I don't know, but Tesla making an announcement, because it's not Elon making the announcement, right? I mean, he's physically making it, but it's not really Elon's announcement. It would be a Tesla announcement. Tesla making an announcement on SNL, I don't know if how well that sits with Wall Street, especially on a weekend, right? So you've got some things to balance here. You've got litigiousness concerns. You've got, does Wall Street make announcements on days like on Saturdays? Berkshire Hathaway does, so maybe there's some precedent. We'll see. Elon's unpredictable. But let's assume that Doge does not get mentioned. It would not be shocking to see, as the show progresses, Doge potentially starts selling off if there's no mention. I think if there's no mention, that is potentially where we see peak media for Doge, and then we see that downtrend. Remember the last time we saw peak media for Doge? It's April 16th. And so let's go back to Dogecoin over here. Or you know what? Let's actually go to CoinMarketCap. So I just want to mention these as words of caution, things to watch for. Remember the psychological barriers that we hit. $1 is the next one. Although we still haven't really solidified at 69. So solidifying at 69 is important as well. It's normal, obviously, to consolidate here, but you've got a long way down to next consolidation point. I mean, you're under 40 cents to really get your next support. Right around like 35 to 40, somewhere around here is really your next support. So, but what's incredible, and I'll say it, is look at the dollar volume. You really almost want to not look at the trading view volume right now. The trading view volume is misleading because the price has gone up so much. For a momentum swing like this, I highly, highly implore you, make sure you're looking at price-weighted volume. When you look at price-weighted volume, you could really see, okay, is this potentially a peak media event right here? I think there's no doubt in anybody's mind, this is a peak media event. In fact, if you look at Google Trends for Dogecoin, SNL, and Elon Musk all ranked together, they're all showing the same pattern of an uptrend together. Let's go down to just the last 7 days as an example here. And you could see Doge in blue, a little less of a correlation visible when you go down to 7 days, but you could definitely see a lot of this momentum coming into Doge during our runs on the 4th, big runs here, obviously, on the 4th. Let's go back to a pricing chart here. Fourth was really the day you had the massive run. That's where you're seeing some of the big momentum. Let's go back out. Let's go to 30 days. It's going to give us a little bit of a better overview. Here we go. It's also a little tougher. Google Trends not really helping us as much as sometimes it does, but you can definitely see, hey, Doge went trending on Twitter. This is when it went trending last time on the 16th. Look at the differences, though, in search trends for Doge. You have more people familiar with Doge potentially now, so maybe there's less of a need for people to search for Doge. But you definitely had that sort of peak search media on April 16th. And you're not really seeing that right now, although we don't have data yet for the 4th. So maybe tomorrow we'll have to do another live stream and try to get data for the 4th to see it in scope of the last 30 days. I think that would be very helpful. Let's see. All right, so that's going to be important to pay attention to. Watch the trends. Doge was trending on Twitter yesterday, so I would like to see those search trends bump again. We are obviously seeing big volume pumps on Doge in terms of actual monetary value here. I think there is a big catalyst once Doge hits a third ranked coin, which could be in the 70s. We don't really hear about that much on social about, any kind of really psychological like rubber band point, as I like to say, in the 70s. I really think your numbers are 69 and then a buck. So if we start rallying over, we break through 69, which we couldn't break out of 69 the last time we hit 69. We're at 61-ish, whatever right now. We're at 62.7 right now. If we can break through 69, I think the next logical stop is $1. And so $1 Doge is very realistic. Now, I wouldn't have had to shave my beard if we had just made this like a deadline of May 15th. That would have been ideal. Then I wouldn't have lost the challenge of Doge $1 by the end of the month. So we might be off by 2 weeks. But this is the real opportunity where I think it could happen. As a trader, if I were a trader, I would be, especially if I were sitting on some big tendies right now, I'd probably be paying real close attention to Doge all day long on Saturday. I want to see what the heck is happening on Saturday. But not only Saturday, folks, you got to prepare now. And the way you're going to prepare now is watching those Google search trends. And I also want you to be familiar with how many people are talking about Doge as it relates to
Elon, what do you Elon
and SNL. And watch this video. Watch the full video here. Understand this. These are important catalysts to be very familiar with. So these are some of my expectations for Doge. Obviously, it'd be huge if Elon Musk comes out with an announcement. I'm skeptical. I am skeptical as to whether or not we're going to hear about Doge. If I had to roll my dice, and I could be totally wrong about this, but I will. There are a lot of people who won't make any decisions. I like making decisions, and I'd rather be wrong than not make a decision at all, because I can always correct course and go, okay, well, I effed up that one, and correct course and go, okay, well, let's try again. So I like making decisions. I think it's a great learning experience. My opinion is Doge on the show would be wonderful for society. That's what everybody's looking for. Liability-wise and announcement-wise, I don't think so. So I think the liability-wise and announcement-wise, it would probably lead me to say 65% no Doge on SNL. And as a trader, I might potentially, especially if we get closer to $1 before, I might potentially go, all right, I'm going to take at least some profits now. If you get a Doge mention during the show, or better yet, if you get a Doge announcement, I think we break through $1. Easy break through $1. And then it's something else. I mean, then this is sure the sky is the limit at that point. But really now Doge becomes something where it's like, wait a minute. Okay, now how can we actually integrate Doge? Can Doge be like an Ethereum? Can it act like a Bitcoin? What's it going to respond more like? Is it going to trade with 10-year treasuries rather than just retail momentum? Are institutional investors going to get into it? We'll see. We didn't see too many institutions follow Elon in, but it is still early. So these are some of my thoughts on Doge. Hopefully you find this helpful. If you like my insights and perspectives, consider checking out the programs down below on building your wealth, especially real estate wealth, stock wealth, whether that's a buy and holding, whether that's trading, whether that's options, private live streams with me every day the market is open, at least for the next 6 months. And folks, cannot wait to see you there. Use that coupon code expiring today. And folks, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for being here. Bye.